Hey guys, it's Lee with Hey Mr. DJ, and today we want to talk about lighting. For today's event, we are here at one of our favorite venues in Santa Monica, Shutters on the Beach. And it is a gorgeous venue. It is right by the water, central to the promenade, and so many cool things here in Santa Monica. We love it down here. And we have a beautiful ballroom behind us. And the ballroom itself is great. It's very light and airy, and it's elegantly decorated. But this is a perfect room to illustrate the differences in lighting and how utilizing lighting will enhance an already beautiful room and really warm up the space and make it very interesting and inviting for all the guests. Because visually that is your primary sense that you use to navigate the world. And in fact, when guests are entering a wedding or a corporate event or any type of event, the two primary senses they're going to immediately tap to make some judgments and evaluations about the space is auditory and visual. So it'll be the music, the vibe, the energy level that they experience as they walk in, combined with the visual aesthetics. If the room feels really warm or too bright, or if everything is just lit and sounds just right, it's a really warm and welcoming experience. Hey guys, just punching in here to demonstrate now, if you had photographer and videographer shooting your event, the difference between having lighting in the background and enhancing the background of whatever your subject is in the front of the frame. So behind me we've got our uplighting and our pin spots on the cake and the centerpieces. So when picking a venue and integrating lighting, there's two main directions you can go. One, if you've picked a space that is a little bit more sparse or bare bones, sometimes this is just style and personal preference. Sometimes it's because a client wants to save money and that way they can allocate their budget to a better DJ or more flowers or higher-end catering. If that's the case, you're going to want to utilize lighting to really completely transform that space. And the beauty is that you can tell any kind of story you want. If you have a big open warehouse or just a ballroom that has plain white walls and ceilings using different textures and colors, you can really transform it into any kind of atmosphere you like. The other option are clients that pick a venue that is very polished and already very elegant and maybe very unique. And in those situations, we would use lighting a little bit more quietly just to enhance the space, call attention to certain areas, and just warm up the room and make it seem even more inviting for the guests. So guys, a properly lit room with the appropriate music levels and energy levels will communicate a few things to guests right away from the second they walk into the space. Number one, it'll tell them that they're walking into a safe and comfortable environment, and this is important. When you walk into a restaurant or a store, your fight or flight instincts are actually always running in the background, and you're always taking in your space to determine if this is a comfortable environment that I want to spend a good amount of time in. And obviously at a wedding or a corporate event or a party, it's anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. So those lighting and energy levels of the music have to be spot on. Next, it's also going to illustrate whether they're walking into an event that is well organized and well choreographed and well orchestrated. If it's going to be smooth sailing, if they walk in and everything looks perfect in a room, immediately defenses go down because people know they're now in an event where they can just relax and let go, and somebody else is going to steer the ship. Lastly, sound and lighting levels are going to immediately demonstrate to a guest upon entering a room what kind of party or event they can expect. If it's more subdued and classy and elegant lighting, then obviously it might be a more sophisticated, laid-back affair. If you've got some brighter colors or some punchy lights or some really cool textures, that's going to communicate a different feeling. But just by knowing that your lighting is on point in the room, people know if they can expect a good party. So there's a few main key elements for lighting a wedding or corporate event, and those would be, first, pin spotting. Typically pin spots are used to highlight floral centerpieces and or cake, dessert stations, and also possibly a sweetheart table. They're smaller beams of light that just make those areas really pop and really stand out, and it makes them really shine in your video and photos. Uplighting. Uplighting is typically used to accent the room, placed around the perimeter to go up the walls or some pillars or columns. Uplighting will really enhance the natural architecture of a space, and depending on what color you pick, it also really warms up a space or can cool a space. It can make a space look a little bit more rustic, or it can make it look really modern. So uplighting is a really big tool in either enhancing or really transforming your venue. Custom monogram is a popular lighting effect. Typically, we would project the couple's initials, either initials or full name with the wedding date, and this is typically projected on a dance floor or on walls. As long as we have enough wall space, it can look really great over the cake, over the sweetheart table, over an archway. Hey guys, so this is an example of a breakout pattern. As I mentioned, there are many different kinds of patterns: leaf, floral, modern, all kinds of different textures and patterns you can choose from. And as you can see on the left, it can be static, not moving at all, or our lights can do a little bit of a rotation on them, which just gives a little bit of interesting movement during dinner or during the first dance. And these lights can also be projected on walls and ceilings for a really nice effect to add a little bit of texture to a room if it's really plain. Hey guys, so of course we have to talk about dance floor lighting, because this space right here is where you want the majority of your guests to spend the majority of their time. They spend the greatest amount of time in a wedding reception or possibly a corporate event once you get past dinner on the dance floor. So one of the reasons I really highly recommend using dance floor lighting is it's twofold. When the room is empty and the floor is empty, it just makes the dance floor look not so dry or like a dead space in the center of the room. It adds a little bit of color, pattern, and it makes it look interesting and warm and inviting. It says, hey, this is a space you can come, this is a safe space, this is where the party's gonna go down. Once people are dancing, splashing a little bit of lighting and color over them does a couple things. For the people on the floor that might be insecure, blanketing them with lighting psychologically makes them feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more safe. So they're more likely to stay on the dance floor longer. And then if they're viewing the dance floor from the bar or from tables in the back of the room, the lighting creates a party visually, and so it creates additional energy on top of the people that are already dancing. So people might look at a floor that's kind of dry and go, I think I'm good. They might look at a floor where it just looks like the party is absolutely through the roof and there's a ton of energy out there, and they're like, man, I gotta get there. And it draws those people in, and so now a dance floor that had 30 people suddenly have 80 people. So in a couple of our other videos that you can check out, we've illustrated a bunch of different lighting options for the dance floor. Everything from an inexpensive, very basic package to a really high-end premium package with moving heads and lots of effects. Today at Shutters, since we have a more intimate space and it's very elegant, we're not trying to turn it into a crazy rave. We're using our basic lighting package just to add a little bit of interest and color and pattern to the floor. Hey guys, that wraps it up for lighting today. I hope you found this information helpful. As always, you can reach out if you have questions. You can check out our website. And also, I'd encourage you to check out my book. It's called How to Hire a Killer Wedding DJ. It's available online, and it is packed with tips that will help your wedding or event. Timeline issues, room layout issues, how to identify and hire the perfect vendor to make everything amazing. So again, hope this helps, and we'll see you next time.